This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by PureVPN. You definitely want a VPN service to hide your browsing activity, whether it be from Google and Facebook or from your ISP, and a VPN like PureVPN is the best way to do that. It gives you the ability, like I said, to hide your activity or to obfuscate it, but it also gives you the ability to report that you're somewhere else, which is really nice when you're out of the country and still would like to watch the premiere of one of your favorite shows. Not at all a real life story. And right now, as part of the Cyber Week that's getting started, they have got a deal for a 3-year plan. You can get a $1.92 a month, which is a really great deal, and you get a 31-day money-back guarantee. So if you buy the plan at this great deal and you don't like it, it doesn't do what you want, you can get all of your money back. And you can find all of the information about PureVPN by going to piltchpoint.live/PureVPN. So, I guess the first thing we'll say is that it is Cyber Week coming up. You guys will have a ton of information about...
already do.
Yes.
We already do. So if you go to tomshardware.com, you will see that we have a lot of information there. We've highlighted some of the best deals, or maybe all of the best deals. Well, certainly some of the best deals for people who like technology, and we also have lists of some of the best gifts to get for different kinds of folks. So definitely check us out. But speaking of gifts, I want to talk about something which I think is an awesome gift for someone, or for oneself. And this is this new thing that I've been testing called the Sphero RVR, spelled RVR. So what this is it is a robot tank, I guess you could say. And it comes with, different kinds of tops. So like here's a top you can put on it, and unlike most robot cars, it's actually made to be durable enough to go outside. But the point of it is that you program it, and there's the Sphero EDU app, which allows you to write code for it from a phone or tablet, and you can control it that way. It has a color sensor, it has a light sensor, so it has some, it's got pretty good sensors and really good motors, and it's got the batteries inside here, and it pops out. So this is like a serious thing. Like, adults could use this for, like, I don't know what a industrial use case of having a robot tank is, but if you, I don't know, want to drive it over to a lake to test the water quality or something, you could, because not only can you control it using Sphero's app, but there's an API, and you can plug in a Raspberry Pi to it and run it that way. So what I have here is, this is a Raspberry Pi Zero W, and it is attached directly to the rover. So there's a USB cable that comes out of the rover to give power to your Raspberry Pi. This also works with Arduino, and I think one other type of board, but Raspberry Pi is clearly the best. And there's also these wires over here, microbit, right? There are also these wires over here that come out of the, they're basically a ground, a TX, and an RX for serial connection. So you connect them to the pins on your Raspberry Pi, and then you install the software, which took me quite a while to figure out. I had to look on some forums to get it working, even though they have documentation for it on Sphero's website. And then you can control it through the Raspberry Pi. So for For example, I wrote a quick, and you can program it in Python. So I wrote a quick program the other day to use the color sensor to change what the LED lights on this do, because there's a whole bunch of LED lights on it.
Okay.
So when it's on, so if you, let me see if this has some juice, and I can actually see in their default state what they do. So, right. So they like, they kind of light up
Okay.
in all kinds of colors, but but the what I did is I actually programmed it, which I'd have to boot up the Raspberry Pi and use it. So I'm not going to do that right now. To have a color sensor program that when I stuck a color under it, it would change the colors of the lights to that color. So, but of course, you could use the color sensor to make it like drive or stop or go backward or whatever. Like, oh, if it runs over green, go, and if it runs over red, stop. And in the package with this, they actually give you a bunch of like pieces of different color paper in different colors, so that you can actually use it for that. And that's, you can program the color sensor without a Raspberry Pi. But one of the great things about having the Raspberry Pi is you can attach additional sensors and additional things that it doesn't come with. Some examples are people have built robot arms to put on top of it. Other examples are people have, attached a camera to it and made this into a security device, a security camera robot. That's actually what I'm trying to do with it. I don't have it in front of me, but there's a mount so that you can actually screw in the Raspberry Pi to it, or other cameras or motors or whatever, and then you can have it, really have it control. You can do it things based on the sensors, right? So I don't know. What if you put like an air quality sensor on this, and it, I don't know, detected that the poor air quality would go somewhere or do something? What if you put a motion sensor on it, and if it detected activity, it would sound an alarm or something? So like there's an almost infinite number of possibilities. And there's a lot of robot car kits out there that are cheaper than this. This is $249, which is quite a bit. But this is really, really well made. Like, it's just very, very solid. I haven't fully tested how long the battery lasts, but it seems to last a long time, definitely several hours. And most of these things are not made to go outdoors, so they aren't this durable. Also, if you have the top on it, it's supposed to be able to kind of flip over. So if it like does something in a loop and it flips over, it should be able to survive that.
Okay.
So it's just really cool. It's a lot of fun, and the possibilities are kind of endless. Now, if you could see more clearly, you can actually see all the circuit guts inside, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool. Like, you can see the boards that are inside of it, which are some kind of proprietary board. It's not like a Raspberry Pi inside or anything. But I think that this is a lot of fun. My son and I have been really enjoying playing with it and figuring out how to do different things on it. And so, if you were buying somebody a gift this holiday season, that person is a maker or likes robots. I mean, you don't need the Raspberry Pi. Kids can use this. Kids can enjoy it. But I think kids, either an adult maker or adults with kids together, when you start attaching a Raspberry Pi or other things to it, that's when it becomes really, really powerful.
Yeah, and obviously it's Sphero. So there's a couple of things that
Yeah.
you can go into it knowing. You know that it's durable because Sphero stuff is durable, which obviously if you're getting it for a kid is important. And you know that it's designed for expandability, like you were saying. That's one of the things that Sphero is known for. Even their first ball many years ago had external APIs, and you could do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. And so I love that it's Sphero. I love that naturally it's expandable, and then by adding a Raspberry Pi or a a microbit or an Arduino to it, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. That's awesome.
But I have to say I've never seen anything like this before. Like there's a lot of robot car kits out there where they'll give you the motors and the and the frame, and you gotta put it together yourself, and then you can have the central piece be a Raspberry Pi. But here's something that works independently, but it's got a port. It's got 3 pins, the equivalent of what you would call a serial port, and USB power out for the purpose of powering a Raspberry Pi. So it's not like an afterthought. It's made to do this. So I think that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah, for sure. And while you were talking, as is pretty normal for me, I went out to look at all of the details, which is why I knew it was microbit as a third board. And apparently on Amazon right now, there's a deal on this for $199.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be writing about that shortly.
Yeah, I mean,
After we get off this call.
that's a 20% discount. That's huge.
Yeah. It's not, even at $199, it's not cheap because it's more money than an Xbox, but but it's a different thing for a different purpose. And having seen, 60, 70, $80 car kits where you got to put together yourself and they're kind of flimsy. This is the, this thing is really, you could use this as a real, I don't know exactly what the use cases would be that were like not for fun, but you could use this. I mean, they have some videos of it, and they have somebody like taking water samples from a river with it or something. So it definitely is made for serious business to do. It's fun enough and understandable enough for a kid that's 7 or 8, but is durable and expandable enough for a serious adult using it for some kind of industrial purpose.
And in their marketing images, I see that they are using Visual Studio for all of the programming on it. So that means that it's like massively targetable. There's that means that it's designed for makers and entry level all the way up through like enterprise developers, because if it's in Visual Studio, you can all but guarantee it's an enterprise developer that's supposed to be messing around with it. So I mean, they definitely have their sights on some big stuff with this little guy. I love it. Obviously, you have one in your possession, so you must be working on something with it.
Yes. This has already made our list of best STEM toys, and we are. I'm working on a more detailed review of it, but it scores high. This is the problem is there's so many different things I could try with it, that to have time to try them all in the middle of this crazy season is going to be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you right now, it is great. And if you're the type of person who likes to make things, use Raspberry Pi, it's definitely for you.
Very cool. I am looking at the marketing images on this, and I am fascinated by some of the things they're doing with it. Just based on the photos, there's something with a red solo cup on an arm that appears to be rotatable. So I'd love to know what that's all about. And then there's some sort of a weather station thing with the spinning bit on top. I would love to know what that's all about too. So yeah, like I said, they've definitely got their eyes set on big things with this. I appreciate you bringing this on, because like we said, there was another, it's that time of year, there was another potential topic, but I love this thing. And
this is more fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I might want one myself. So,
yep.
So thanks for that, Abram.